Have you ever felt like you're working so hard, but nothing seems to be changing? Like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck in the same place? Before you quit, listen to this story, because it might be exactly what you need today. And if you love inspiring stories like this, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so more people can stay motivated. Amara wasn't the smartest student in her school, but she was one thing: determined. She lived in a small town where students shared textbooks, the classroom fans barely worked, and sometimes the chalk finished before the lesson ended. But Amara still had a dream. She wanted to become a medical researcher, someone who could create solutions for illnesses that affected people in her community. The problem? Her grades did not match her dream. In her first term of junior secondary 3, she scored below average in science. Her classmates laughed and said, "Amara, maybe science is not your thing. Try something easier." Even her teacher once told her gently, "You need to work much harder if you want to see real improvement." So she did. Every day after school, while others rushed home to rest, Amara stayed behind in the library, a small, dusty room, but the quietest place she knew. She watched educational videos on her small phone, took notes, and solved questions over and over again. Some nights she studied with a rechargeable lamp when the power went out. Nobody applauded. Nobody noticed. There was no instant improvement. But she kept going. Slowly, her grades began to rise. A few marks here, a few marks there. Nothing dramatic. Nothing anyone would celebrate. But Amara celebrated it silently because she knew she was getting better. One afternoon, the school announced a statewide science competition. Many students didn't bother entering. Some thought it was too hard, others weren't interested. Even Amara hesitated, until she remembered all the quiet hours she had spent building herself. She registered. On the day of the competition, her hands shook slightly as she opened the question booklet. But something unexpected happened. For the first time, the questions didn't feel impossible. All those late nights, all those repeated practice questions, they came together like pieces of a puzzle. 2 weeks later, during morning assembly, the principal called her name. "Congratulations to Amara," he said with a proud smile. "Winner of the state junior science competition." The students gasped. Some looked shocked. Others clapped loudly. Amara stood there frozen, tears filling her eyes as she realized this was the reward for all the effort no one saw. Her victory came with a scholarship, a set of new textbooks, and an invitation to represent her state nationally. But the biggest reward was something deeper. She proved to herself that success doesn't come from talent alone. Success comes from consistency, patience, and believing in yourself even when progress feels slow. That day she walked home with her certificate pressed tightly against her chest. The sky looked brighter. The world felt different. And she whispered a lesson she would never forget. Hard work doesn't pay in one day, but it always pays. If you enjoyed this story and want more inspiring content, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Someone out there might need this message right now.